At first, it doesn't look like a disaster. It looks like silence. The kind of silence nature wears so well that you almost mistake it for peace. The ridge stands high above the river, still and sunlit, and the herd remains scattered across it like nothing in the world could possibly go wrong. From a distance, it feels ordinary. Safe, even. But that's the strange thing about moments like this. They don't announce themselves. They don't arrive with warning sirens or dark skies. Sometimes the most dangerous moment begins in complete stillness, hidden inside something that looks completely normal. And by the time anyone realizes what has changed, it is already too late. Somewhere between one careful step and the next, the land made a decision. One patch of earth gave way when it shouldn't have. One small miscalculation turned solid ground into betrayal. And in a matter of seconds, she was no longer walking with the herd. She was falling away from them. It wasn't a clean fall. It was awkward, violent, and cruel in the way only gravity can be. Dirt collapsed beneath her. Stones broke loose and skidded past. Her body twisted as she tried to catch herself, but the slope had already taken control. By the time she stopped sliding, she had landed in the worst possible place, a steep, narrow trap between the ridge above and the river below. Not open enough to run, not stable enough to climb, and not shallow enough to ignore. Above her, the others remained on the high ground, watching from the safety of the ridge. They were close enough to see her struggle, close enough to hear the scramble of hooves against loose earth, but far enough away to do absolutely nothing. That is how quickly the world can divide itself. One moment you belong to the group. The next, you are alone in a place the group cannot enter. And down below, beyond the shifting mud and the broken edge of the bank, the river waits. Calm, patient, unbothered, as if it has seen this before. For a few seconds, she freezes. Not because she has given up, but because instinct is recalculating. Her body is still trying to understand what just happened. Her chest rises hard and fast. Her legs tense under her. Her ears flick toward every sound. But the worst thing is that there isn't much sound at all. No panic from above. No obvious threat charging toward her. Just the low, steady movement of water and the faint crumble of earth under her own weight. But then comes the realization that changes everything. The bank beneath her cannot be trusted. Every slight movement sends dirt spilling away. Every shift of balance threatens another slide. Gravity is no longer just a force. It is now an enemy. And below her, hidden beneath the surface glare of the river, there is another enemy too. One she cannot fully see yet, but one that is already aware of her. One that does not need to rush. One that can afford to wait. That is what makes this moment so terrifying. The danger is not frantic. It is patient. The hunters of the river understand something she is only beginning to learn. Trapped prey does half the work for them. Panic creates mistakes. Exhaustion creates openings. And the land itself is already doing the heavy lifting. She tests the slope with one hoof. It crumbles. She shifts sideways. More dirt gives way. But then she tries again, changing the angle, searching not for an easy path, but simply for any path at all. One step, then another. A small ledge appears where moments ago there seemed to be nothing. A root, a rough edge, a brief point of resistance. For the first time since the fall, there is something like hope. Not safety, not escape, just possibility. And sometimes, when survival is all that matters, possibility is enough. She lunges upward. Her body gathers every ounce of force it has left and throws it into the climb. For a second, it works. Her front legs rise. Her weight shifts higher. Loose mud sprays behind her. It almost looks as if she has beaten the slope. But almost is a cruel word out here. The earth beneath her chest breaks apart. The bank, which offered support for just one heartbeat, suddenly collapses under pressure. She slides back down, harder this time, her hooves cutting helpless lines through the mud. The attempt costs her energy. More than that, it costs her time. And time, in this place, does not belong to her. Above, the herd still does not move. They remain on the ridge like silent witnesses, their stillness so complete it feels unreal. As if they understand some law of the wild that offers no comfort, no rescue, no second chances. Down here, she is the only one fighting the slope. The only one feeling it collapse beneath her. The only one hearing the river breathe. But then she tries again. This time not straight up, but sideways first, almost as if she's trying to outthink the trap itself. It is a smarter move, or maybe just a more desperate one. Her body angles across the slope, searching for firmer ground, for a section of earth that has not already decided to betray her. And somehow, against the odds, she finds one. It's small, barely enough, but enough. One hoof digs in, then the other. Her body strains forward, muscles shaking under the effort. She is not climbing gracefully now. There is no elegance left in this struggle. This is raw survival, stripped down to effort, fear, instinct, and pain. Still, she rises, inch by inch, breath by breath, as if refusing the abyss through sheer will alone. But beneath her, something is already moving. The river has been watching from the beginning. What seemed empty was never empty. What seemed still was never still. Below the surface, the hunters have been measuring her. Not rushing, not wasting strength, just waiting for the perfect moment when effort turns into weakness. They know how this works. They know that the land tires the trapped long before the water takes its turn. Every failed climb, every scramble, every burst of panic shortens the distance between survival and surrender. And now, as she drifts closer to the edge again, they begin to adjust. Not wildly, not visibly, just enough to stay ready. That's the part people miss. In the wild, the deadliest thing is not always speed. Sometimes it is patience so complete it feels like certainty. She drives upward again with a sudden primal force, the kind that doesn't come from thought, but from something older, deeper, more desperate. For one breathtaking moment, it looks impossible, and then, somehow, almost possible. Her body rises high enough to make the bank tremble. Dirt cascades into the water. Her front half seems ready to pull free, but the earth gives nothing back. It takes all of her effort and returns only collapse. She slips, catches herself, slips again, each attempt now shorter than the one before, each recovery slower. The strength is still there, but it is no longer fresh. It is being spent faster than it can be replaced. And that is when the struggle changes. At first, this was about escape. Now it is about endurance. Time begins to stretch. The river seems paused. The ridge seems frozen. Even the air feels like it has stopped moving. Above, the herd remains perfectly still, as if carved into the horizon. Below, the water continues its quiet passage, indifferent and relentless. Between them stands one exhausted animal, trying again and again to force the world to change its mind. She shifts into deeper water, maybe by accident, maybe because the bank nearest her has already failed too many times. Maybe she believes another angle will give her a better chance. Maybe fear has narrowed every decision down to one command. Keep moving. Don't stop. Don't let stillness belong to the river. The water rises around her legs now, and with it comes a new kind of danger. The ground beneath is less predictable. The current presses against her,